Hi everyone! Sharing a time-lapse of my pastel painting of a horse and rider. If you want to see the real-time tutorial I've made from it, showing you how to build up this landscape background, visit my Patreon channel. I work in soft pastel with some pastel pencil for detail. This is done on velour pastel paper and was quite small for the amount of detail at 18 inches tall. So enjoy this time-lapse, and a big thanks to all new subscribers on YouTube and Patreon. I make a start with the background, always working towards the foreground, and I often add some blur to the distant background to give the painting a sense of depth. Even when it's not in the photo reference, it's something I do to make the painting more attractive and 3D than the photo. I spend a long time on backgrounds. They often take much longer than the main subject. I use unison soft pastels to block everything in and begin to build up the layers of foliage. You can see how important it is to have your dark layers down first in pastel. There are so many shades of green in this piece. As I work this hedge, my marks get smaller, and because the hedge is close to the horse, I want to have it a little more detailed than the tree line behind. Now the fun starts with small items that require crisp edges. It takes a lot of patience working in a smaller scale in pastel. For the horse and the rider, I make use of my smaller shards of pastel, as well as a lot of pastel pencil with a variety of points. I love Faber-Castell pastel pencils. I also have a few Carbothellos. Both of these work quite well on the velour, but nothing goes down quite as nicely as the soft pastels. I wouldn't necessarily recommend working in this scale in pastel. It's advisable, especially when you're learning, to give yourself a bit more space. So many brown earths and rich reds go into making up the colour of this horse. I make sure to use lots of that vibrant red, as it will contrast nicely with those zingy greens in the background. On this scale, I also want to be sure to notice each part of the muscular structure. And a lot of the time, as you can see, I must resort to a little bit of pastel pencil to push that pigment into place and create the very smallest details on the horse. Although the face looks like it appears all of a sudden in time lapse, it took a few very fiddly hours of work to achieve some kind of likeness. The slightest dot out of place here, and it was easy for the face to slip away. And now with the horse and rider in, it's onto the foreground. Adding more texture to the grass as it comes closer to us, starting to build up those logs for the jump, and considering adding some foreground blur to the hedge closest to the camera. Anything to make that midground area pop. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again to all who have recently subscribed, and a special thanks to all the people supporting me on Patreon. Without those guys, my plans for releasing lots more real-time content this year just couldn't happen. See you next time.